Hey guys, welcome to another Warframe guide. Today we are doing Wukong. So Wukong, he can spawn a clone, he can heal himself, he can take a lot of damage by being invulnerable and having tons of armor, and he has his own exalted weapon. Getting Wukong, you will have to do the Tenno clan research. You will have to research his parts, and then you will have to build the parts, and yeah, it's not too hard. They made Knighton easier to get, so you should get him in no time. However, Wukong Prime is easier to get, as all primes do come from the Void Relic systems. He should be out of the vault right now, so go out and get him. Alright, so first things first, Wukong's abilities. His passive is that after taking fatal damage, Wukong automatically survives one of his mastered survival techniques. These techniques can be only invoked 3 times per mission, so after you've used up these 3 techniques, if you die again, you will go into the down state. Even if you do click revive, or if a ally revives you, you will not come back. You will not have these survival techniques come back. So in the tip bar, we have the survival techniques at the last tab. So his 5 possible techniques are Primal Focus, triple elemental damage for 60 seconds, Heavenly Cloak, invisibility for 30 seconds, Cosmic Armor, invulnerability for 30 seconds, Monkey Luck, extra loot drops for 60 seconds, and Sly Alchemy. Orbs are 4 times more effective for 60 seconds. I believe Monkey Luck does work with some other loot frames, but not all of them. I will post more information in the description if you want to see more about that, but those are his 5 techniques. In a mission, you will only have access to 3, and they are randomized. His first ability is Celestial Twin. Shedding a part of himself, Wukong creates a twin to fight by his side. Attack at range, and his twin will use melee. Pull a blade, and his twin will lay down covering fire. Use again to command a twin to attack a target with increased damage. So as you can see, the boosted damage is, well, a 2 times multiplier. Some interesting notes is that its health will come from your health. Let's say if you have 100, it will have 200. If you raise your power strength, it will increase that multiplier. It does have a drain when you first activate it, but when you use its marking, it does not have a drain. If the twin does go into a nullifier, it will not immediately die, but it will start losing health per second until it is out of the nullifier bubble, or if it kills it. And the weapons it uses is whatever's in your loadout. So if you have, let's say, a shotgun for your primary and a heavy blade for your melee, if you use your heavy blade, it will use the shotgun, and vice versa. It will use the mods on your weapon, allowing your Celestial Twin to do massive damage. It is a pretty good AI ability, as most Warframe AI abilities aren't too good. This one does its job well. Second ability is Cloudwalker. Cloudwalker allows Wukong to evaporate into a cloud of mist, floating through the battlefield, dazing any enemies encounter while healing Wukong and his twin. So as it says, it heals both Wukong and the twin, so if either of you take damage, you can get the health back. In order to get the health back, you will have to travel a distance that is health per meter, so its base is 1%. It may not seem like much, but Wukong can heal all of his health pretty quickly. It does have a 8-meter stun radius at base, and its duration is 2 seconds, which of course can be increased by power duration, and its drain can be decreased. And the health percentage does get increased by power strength. Defy allows him to kind of taunt all the enemies around him. All damage is captured, stored, and dealt back in a single furious strike from Wukong's staff. Bonus armor is then granted relative to the damage captured. So it will give you at a base 2 seconds of invulnerability, multiply the damage taken by 7.5 to dish it all out in a radius of 12 meters base. It does have a 25-second armor duration, and the armor multiplier is 1.5 at base. These can all be increased by duration, range, and power strength. Finally, you have Primal Theory. This is his exalted weapon. He summons his legendary Iron Staff and unleashes Fury. It has a drain when you first activate it, a drain per second, and it has base damage. There is Primal Rage as a augment, but I'll get to that in a bit. First things first, next things next is we will go into his build. So for the build I've made, I have Seal Charge in the aura slot for increased melee damage and more polarity. or more capacity. I have power strength, umbral intensify, and augur secrets to give me 183% power strength. I've got narrow-minded because for the way I play Wukong is I don't really need his range, especially for Cloudwalker. Just because Cloudwalker does have a stun but at 8 meters, mine is reduced to 2.7. I'm going to run into the enemies anyways, so I'm not too worried about losing range here. The radius for Defy, again, I'm not too worried about losing the range here. I'm more there for the armor and invulnerability. Power range does not affect Primal Fury, so you really don't have to worry about it shortening your staff. In the old Wukong it would, but not in this one. So I have adaptation, just to get that more damage resistance, making me harder to kill. You'll notice I do not have vitality or any really health mods here. This is because I can heal myself. The new shield gating makes it so I have a second to kind of react when my shield goes down to kind of avoid damage and use either Defy or Cloudwalker. And really I can heal it all back up anyway, so I'm really not too worried about dying here, and I got my passive. So we have Streamline for ability efficiency and Primal Rage. So this is an augment for Primal Fury. Killing an enemy increases critical chance by 15%. The increased delay is 1% per second. So it does decay. Sorry about that. And this is increased by power strength and duration, I believe, as you can see here. Mine is 27% and the decay rate is 0.3%. So that's how I build my Wukong. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave in the comments. I love hearing you guys' different builds and different tips. I can't say I know everything, but this is how I build my Wukong. Finally, we have Iron Staff. So Iron Staff is kind of its own exalted weapon. I put Prime Pressure Point for just more damage. Brilliant Scourge and Voltic Strike in order to build Corrosive. I got Fury for attack speed, Organ Shatter, True Steel for critical chance and damage, Fever Strike, and Shocking Touch to give me more damage for corrosiveness. So this allows me to strip armor and deal a bunch of damage. Now I don't go viral just because my damage is mostly impact, and because of that they won't really bleed, so the viral won't help too much. Corrosive allows me to do direct damage, as I am technically reducing their armor and dealing tons of damage. So as you can see, I got a 55% crit chance with a 3.8 multiplier and 66% status, so I'm getting these crits pretty constantly, and I am getting the status procs of corrosive and impact pretty constant, so it's allowing me to do tons of damage. Finally, if you really want to, I have a Helios up, which has these gladiator mods. I don't have all of them, but this allows me to kind of have the effect of, is it Blood Rush? I believe it's Blood Rush. It's where you have a kind of percent critical chance per combo multiplier. So the higher your multiplier, the higher your critical chance, which allows you to do red crits. If you have the full set, or the full set at least for weapons, for melee weapons, you should be able to get some red crits at 12 multiplier, but I don't. But this is if you want to. So going into Wukong's test, of course we are going to grab some energy first, and we're going to spawn the targets at level 100. This is kind of like max story level. This is pretty much as high as you usually go, unless you're striving to achieve higher. Yeah, so let's get up. So I jump in the air, make my clone, Iron Staff, and then Defy. So I get Defy, go straight in the middle. As you can see, it lasts quite a long time. I can reactivate it in order to shorten it, and that killed a lot of these units. And you see my clone's also using the Iron Staff. I forgot to mention that. If you use Iron Staff, it will override whatever weapon you're using. So I can see here, as you can see, I'm doing tons of damage here. All the trash mobs pretty much die instantly. All the heavier mods do take a little bit more, but they die relatively quickly. On the top right, you can see I am getting adaptation, and you can see that the combo multiplier is stacking up for the gladiator set, the Blood Rush thing. So yeah, that is Wukong. Just to give you an example of his clone, just to show his capability. simulate this test again. You can see my armor is on the bottom left. I get the max is 1,500. You can't get any higher than that. You can get lower. Again, when you have this many enemies around you, it's pretty easy to get that max. So you can see here, he's using my melee, my Reaper Prime, and he is simply carving his way through all the AI. You can see his health on the bottom right. If he's starting to get low, I can just use Cloudwalker. It heals him right up. And there we go. Yeah, just carving them up completely. Of course, if I change to my melee, he'll start using the Corinth Prime. I noticed there is a little bug with Wukong using Corinth Prime, because Corinth originally has 5 shots before it has to reload, and as you can see, the Wukong will shoot 5 shots then reload, whereas the Corinth Prime has 20 shots. So that's just a little note that some weapons may not have it. I'm not sure if D is aware of it yet, but that's the little thing to be aware of. It's still using all the mods on both these weapons, allowing me to do tons of damage per second, and that is Wukong. So again, if you are interested in getting him, you will have to do the Tenno Clan research or the Prime Relics. So my name's been Sunrisen. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I'll see you in the next video.